BBC News with Justine Green. A search operation is underway in the waters of the North Atlantic for a submersible with 5 people on board that went missing on a trip to explore the wreck of the Titanic. Ships and planes from the United States and Canada are involved. One of those on board is the British billionaire and explorer Hamish Harding. Police in Uganda have arrested 20 people suspected of collaborating with Islamist militants thought to have carried out a deadly attack on a school last Friday. They include the head teacher and the school's director. The Sikh community in Canada says Hardeep Singh Nijjar, the leader of a temple in British Columbia who advocated for a separate Sikh state in India, has been found shot dead. Canadian police say the body was found on Sunday night in the car park of a Sikh temple in Surrey, east of Vancouver. British MPs have voted overwhelmingly to approve a report which found that Boris Johnson deliberately misled Parliament over lockdown-breaking parties during COVID. The debate had scathing comments about the former Prime Minister's behaviour. President Zelensky says Ukraine has not lost any of its positions in the current counter-offensive, while he said Russian troops had only lost ground. Last week, President Putin claimed Ukraine's offensive had stalled. UN Chief Antonio Guterres said Sudan is descending into death and destruction at an unprecedented speed. He was opening an international humanitarian summit in Geneva. The United Nations has adopted the first international treaty to protect the high seas. It took 15 years of negotiations before a text could be agreed upon. 60 nations need to ratify the treaty for it to come into effect. The Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has announced the removal of all of the country's security chiefs. They include the heads of the armed services, the police, the National Security Advisor and Chief of Defence Staff. BBC News.